Hello again, everybody. This is Sebastian Keynes, and this is going to be another Watcher of Rome's video. In this one, I want to talk to you about the new hero that is coming into the public server. It's called Magmus. He is a fighter from the Nightmare Council, and he is having a 15x. Of course, it's going to be accompanied with Silas. So it's going to, for those that really want to fill the Pokédex, it's going to make it a little bit complicated in trying to make sure that they can actually summon him. But one of the things that I wanted to just briefly discuss, because I do think he is taking a little bit too much flack in terms of his potential, because a lot of people are going to feel underwhelmed by him, because he's not a hero that really is going to push the power creep that we see that we have in the game right now. Many others are going to be I think frustrated maybe by the fact that they're releasing new heroes and they're just going to be further diluting down the pool to not be able to acquire heroes like Silatu, Salicide, Arrogance, as an example, right? You all want different ones, truly impactful heroes in the game. So, you know, just introducing a couple more, you are going to be frustrated by it. And most likely then Magmus would be in the pots, where it's kind of in the medium range of summoning. I was lucky enough to get one copy of him here in the Forerunners Server. And for progression, he definitely did help a lot. And I took advantage of what his kit had to offer, which was that he is a fighter that can become tanky when his ultimate is activated. And if you've guys seen this skill, he actually gains HP and he gains block. So if you can team him up with people that can boost his rage, you are going to come back to this fairly quickly. And you're going to be able to utilize it as well in terms of that burst damage that he does, especially after you are able to get this magma burst stacks added to him, because he will deal additional damage. And it will be AoE damage. And aside from that, we have a passive here where he will counterattack if he is attacked, and he can apply physical damage vulnerability, and that'll last for 8 seconds. And then of course you can skill that so the chance procs more often and the interval is a little bit shorter. And then he has this passive where if he is above 80%, the damage reaction, it's increased on him, but if he gets damage, he gets counterattack, of course, but at the same time, he's going to be dealing more damage if that falls below 80%. So when I got him, I thought he would be a very nice hero to have into the account. Just one more thing, because this is one that I think a lot of heroes in the Nightmare Council benefit from. He actually has defense reduction. You do need the first awakening though to get the the defense reduction, and you can get more stacks of Magma burst with the third awakening. And then the fifth one, when the lava flow becomes activated, he will get retribution right away. There's no cooldown on that. So he will counterattack right away. So his kit definitely is interesting in where you can apply it. His cost is 17. He has a 2 block, and like I told you, he gains block when you activate his ultimate, so that goes up to 4. Let me so I collected a couple clips because this is essentially how I'm using it in my account. And for those of you that are struggling in one particular area, I think that that's where you're probably going to find some utility if you have a very limited account. This is going to be one of the examples. I'm here in campaign. This is the stage that I like to kind of illustrate how, or that I like to illustrate the ability of some of the heroes, which is Expert 615, excuse me. So I bring him in. And so here I'm just getting everybody set up to do the demonstration. So now here I'm loading it. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them down here to block the path of the demon soldiers coming out, because essentially you can use them as a tank in this example here. I will concede I have not found a use for him in the Void Rift. That is one area where I really had a hard time finding him, given the other heroes that I already have in my account. So I relied more on those over there, especially magic ones, right? So, but in instances like this, what I just needed him to, you know, take care of anything that is coming, I'm not going to use a tank. So essentially, it's just him, you know, if he gets hit, he can do AoE damage, especially if multiple units are coming at him. He can then take care of any swarms that may be coming at him if I activate the ultimate. So let me see if I can speed this up a little bit just to get an idea. So here comes one. So you can see that he does hit very hard. I will show you the build here in a minute of what I actually like to choose to go with him when I do use them. But because he is a fighter and he will do retribution with his basic attack, I do like to put him in an Inferno set, but that's my preference. If you can get him to come back to his ultimate frequently, you can put him in a Soulbound Arcana set. Just try and test that out, especially that's still kind of bugged. So let me see if I can get the attic soldiers to come out. So here's kind of a wave, right? So now he's taking a hit. So you saw that, and then right away he did a retribution. So now he activated the ultimate. I create this ground effect area where he is going to be doing damage. And he does very good damage. So see, he just cleans them out. And I'm not giving them any help right now. I could easily bring in a healer. So that's what I'm doing with her, Elowen. I'm going to start boosting the rage if at all possible. So let me keep... So here come at his followers. Okay, so here I'm going to activate... Did I activate the ultimate? No, it's just the basics. You can just see they're hitting him. Retribution activates. And I think that was it for this run. So that's kind of just the example. This is just an example of how I use them in campaign. So if you get them early on, use them in campaign. It will help you progress through that part of the game. But now let me show you the area of the game where I primarily use them the most. Okay, folks, here we are in arena. Luckily, we're in a single target DPS arena because this is exactly where I use them. I do have a Nightmare Council composition that I put him in, and he is actually going to be the one that I use to be right up front. The tank, you know, to kind of slow down the progression of the demons and to also do damage at the same time. So this is an actual battle going on right now. And especially if you have Valeriah, he does team up with her really well. So I open things out with Valeriah, and then essentially what I do is that I do bring him in to then make sure that he gets the additional, be the front man to block, and then we'll provide him support to make sure that he does remain alive. But my goal is for him to do just as much damage as Valeriah does. And in this account, my Valeriah is fully skilled, but he is not. Because he's not somebody that I particularly decided to invest legendary crystal skills on yet. Because the only facet of the game that I'm currently using him is this one. So if he can help me push into Plat 3 and stay there during single target arena, then this is good enough for me to be able to use him in this regard. And just the fact that he does more damage when his HP is reduced by 20%, it plays a big role in this type of setting right here. So now it's just boosting his rage with Elowen. So I do kind of have things timed out where I use Valeriah's ultimate, or I use his ultimate to bring the demons down. So this is the one particular area where I do like to use them. Now, there is a much better composition that you can use them in to really rush through this. It's a lot quicker. So you can kind of get an idea from this composition here as to how exactly this is working. So now let me show you another example where he does do a lot better and he has great utility, especially if you have Silas. For this example here, I am going to show you how exactly a guildmate of mine uses Magmus in single target arena. He does have a Nightmare Council composition to go with him, but he also adds Silas. And he actually, with Silas, can really speed up his runs in this manner. So here, Arturos from the Dragon Slayer community, we are in the same guild in the Forerunners Server. So he provided this clip to me just to kind of give you an idea of how you can team him up with somebody like Silas, if you have him, or you have Hex, or somebody that can, marksman that gets really good in this facet of the game, and then you can team him up with Valoraya as well. So right now, he is just really slowing things down, make sure that he grab her right at the moment she was available, because you do want to make sure that you're ahead in the race. So activate the ultimate, let it go. So he brings in Silas. Perfect. Let me see here. Speed it up a little bit. So you're going to see the progression now. It's going a little bit faster. Now we're in the 4th wave. So can you kind of clear things up with these two? Right in the middle of the 4th wave, he brings in Magmus, because now he's going to get ready for the much stronger demons that are going to come out. And now he can try to rush through. Now these waves are a little bit easier to contend with. So you now can see the ground effect area being made. Now he's doing a lot of that. See, couple hits, they're down. And so if you can team him up with Silas's ultimate, Valoraya's ultimate, you're going to do a great job in bringing all of this down really quick. And again, for this composition, we like Elowen, because she will boost his rage and he'll get back to this ultimate a lot quicker. You can try with Hollow. You know, anytime he loses HP, you just make sure you heal with Hollow to get that rage build up again. So you see kind of the dual ultimates going. Essentially, it's just getting the time and style just to rush through this content as quickly as possible. So that's kind of another idea that I can give you, especially if you have Silas and you're struggling in single target arena. You can basically put him around the Nightmare Council composition, and he's like a Wrath, for example. So, you know, if you want to substitute Wrath and you have Torador, you can do that, or you can leave Wrath in the lead position, just bring him in later and help you finish these battles out. But that's essentially what his job is, to kind of gain strength when you activate his ultimate and bring people down as soon as he can. So to close things out here, if you get him and you want to build him, definitely take advantage of his attack. It's the 2nd highest here in the game, and you can then add some critical damage to him, get him some speed to get his rage regen back up as soon as he can, especially with the retribution. And if you can add, if you have pieces of Infernal Roar that have rage regeneration, you can use that as well. You'll come back to it a lot quicker. If you have very good Warlord pieces, I would recommend doing that to add some attack and some speed. I actually went here with critical damage instead, because I already had the speed cover with these 3 pieces here. So that was enough, at least for me, to get him a very good build. Almost 28,000 attack. And as you can see, 441 speed. And I got to the 300 critical damage threshold, and I have him crit capped as well. My favorite artifact on him is the Wailing Skull, because that little shadow creature will take his stats, and you'll just be doing a lot more damage. So that is possibly one. If you're just coming up into the game, you can look at the IOSN, because that increases his AoE damage. And aside from that, if you want to give him a little bit more survivability in some situations, you can use the visor. But definitely, the Wailing Skull is the preferred one that I do like to use on him, especially when I'm doing my arena tasks for the day. In terms of the skills, you can see here that in my example, I did not have him fully skilled. Whatever skills I did get with just the dust, as you can see, didn't go into the ultimate. So I was using the ultimate as it was. Definitely, as you know, if you skill up your heroes, they were going to benefit a lot more. For GBG, he's actually a BP hog, or you can get very good VP on him and try to get a good affiliation in your demon's shoulders. So build it, give him some attack, and you'll see that BP increase. And for me, he's one of the heroes. I slapped the gear on him, and you can see 82,000, at least for my account. For this account, that is a very good affiliation, and I do use it, especially when he has a very highly leveled artifact. As for chasing him on a 15x banner, if you're a collector, you're going to try, right? You're going to take whatever rare crystals you might have, or you're close to pity, you're going to try to give it a crack. And yes, he's partnered with Silas, so you have a danger of getting him. So if you're a collector, I can't tell you not to go for him, because you're going to want to add him to the account. But if you are somebody that just is really, really selective about the heroes that they're going to summon for, or how you're going to use your rare crystals because you don't spend in the game, or you're very, very low spender, I would say you don't need to chase him. Just let him naturally come to you when you're doing summons. Once he gets added to the pool, you'll probably have similar rates as some of these other heroes that we have here on the account, like Valeria or Calypso or Lasir. I think that that's where he's primarily being ranked in. Especially how we see the summons here in the Forerunners Server. So that's probably where you are going to get him. And if you are progressing to the game, I would not be disappointed if you get him. I would not label him as a trash champion, because he isn't. There is some utility to him. I think that the ones that are lashing out against him, especially in this banner, are the ones that are getting frustrated by the fact that they cannot summon the big time heroes that the game has to offer. So make your own judgment. I wish you the best of luck if you do decide to go for him. And that's pretty much what I have to say, or my thoughts are on Magmus. He's a neat hero. He's niche, but he is somebody that I can definitely use in the game when I do need some type of tankiness from a fighter and he can do quick damage. That'll do it for this video, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Remember, hit like and subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you all next time on the next Watch Your Realms video.